Welcome to Trial Site News Weekly Roundup. My name is Adrian, and I'll be going over some of our top news stories from this past week. Please click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of future videos. This week we start our roundup with cancer-related news. Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center and Alkermes inked a collaborative deal where the parties will conduct a Phase 2 multi-site trial for ALKS-4230, a novel engineered fusion protein designed to selectively expand tumor-killing immune cells while avoiding the activation of immunosuppressive cells by preferentially binding to the intermediate affinity interleukin-2 receptor complex. Elsewhere in cancer-related news, University of California, San Diego Moores Cancer Center is pioneering the next generation of cancer treatment with a particular focus on patients who have not responded to standard therapy. Dr. Ezra Cohen, medical oncologist at UC San Diego Health, was in QC News Studio to tell more. Stony Brook University investigators Paul Bingham and Susanna Zachers developed a pancreatic cancer drug in the Department of Biochemistry and Cell Biology Laboratory. This drug has made it into the Phase 3 multi-center testing state, and we'll keep you posted on the story as it continues to develop. Meanwhile, a new cancer trial has commenced at the M Health Fairview University of Minnesota Medical Center that leverages the groundbreaking research on stem cells and natural killer cells done at the Masonic Cancer Center and applies it to attack acute myeloid leukemia and B-cell lymphoma, called FT516. This first-of-its-kind NK cell cancer immunotherapy is manufactured from a human-induced pluripotent stem cell, or iPSC, that has been genetically engineered to enhance its anti-tumor activity. Elsewhere in cancer-related news, Odinate Therapeutics Inc., a pharmaceutical company dedicated to the development of best-in-class therapeutics that improve and extend the lives of patients with cancer, today announced the completion of enrollment in Contessa, a multinational, multi-center, randomized Phase 3 study investigating Taxol as a potential treatment for patients with HER2-negative, hormone receptor-positive metastatic breast cancer. The company expects to report top-line results from Contessa in the third quarter of 2020. Meanwhile, New Horizon Health Limited, a vendor in China that focuses on non-invasive colon cancer screening technology, inked an exclusive deal with Prenetics Limited, a genetics and digital health company in Asia and Europe. New Horizon will undertake a technology transfer to Prenetics for its ColoClear non-invasive multi-target stool DNA test for colorectal cancer, developed for individuals of Asian ethnicity, and they purport to be validated through clinical studies to perform at 92% sensitivity in the detection of colon cancer. Meanwhile, understanding the biology of early cancers and precancerous states will allow doctors to find accurate ways to spot the disease earlier and, where necessary, treat it effectively. It could even enable precision prevention where the disease could be stopped from ever occurring in the first place. Turning now to autism-related news stories. Two research scientists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, an American teaching hospital of Harvard Medical School, suspect that autism spectrum disorder may actually be an autoimmune disease. Although causality isn't proven, the investigation will continue down this path to determine if, in fact, our understanding of autism is not what we think it is. And now for an opioid-related news story. Segal Clinical, a privately held network of research sites throughout South Florida and South Carolina conducting Phase 1 through 4 clinical trials, has been named one of 7 sites to initiate a Phase 2 study of Psilocybin, a psychedelic prodrug compound for major depressive disorder, or MDD. Segal Clinical holds a Schedule 1 DEA license and will be taking part in Usona Institute's Phase 2 PSIL-201 study investigating the safety and efficacy of psilocybin for MDD. Usona Institute, founded by Promega Corporation, was inspired by the potential of psilocybin to treat severely depressed patients and alleviate suffering. Meanwhile, ayahuasca, an Amazonia indigenous culture psychedelic brew, has been used for centuries in traditional spiritual medicine. It will now be the topic of discussion between Brazil's University of Rio Grande do Norte and the University of Auckland in New Zealand. Turning now to clinical news stories. The American Society for Dermatologic Surgery, or the ASDS, the largest specialty organization representing dermatologic surgeons, has announced 8 grant recipients across 3 research programs, supporting its mission to foster, develop, and encourage investigative knowledge in dermatologic surgery. ASDS provides its members with the tools and assistance they need to achieve the highest standards in clinical practice and patient care. Elsewhere, health providers from small regional hospitals to major health systems increasingly form alliances to facilitate and support participation in clinical trials. One prominent and recent example is the PEER Consortium, an emerging trend known as clinical research as a care option, also brings the clinical trial into the patient's community. In certain therapeutic areas, such as oncology, this can literally save lives. As the clinical trials landscape morphs and emerging models unfold, all must embrace and live a patient-centric ethos. Meanwhile, the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus has been awarded $4 million over the next 4 years from the National Institute of Health, or the NIH, Research Evaluation and Commercialization Hub research grant. The university is now part of a national network of research institutions sharing best practices involving the commercialization of academic discoveries. Meanwhile, an investigational drug antibody therapy for multiple myeloma called MOR202 is currently in clinical trials in Taiwan and now expanding to mainland China. IMAB, a high-flying Chinese biotech startup, licensed the intellectual property from German Morphosis in 2017. IMAB has raised records in regards to venture capital. Turning now to neurodegenerative news stories. The National Multiple Sclerosis Society, or the NMSS, awarded $14.6 million in grants supporting 43 new and multi-year research projects into multiple sclerosis, or MS, part of a projected $36 million investment in disease research for 2019. And now for an asthma-related news stories. The La Jolla Institute of Immuno-Oncology licensed the Sexter Research Portal, or the SRP, health data management platform to connect patients, clinicians, and researchers to support the development of personalized treatment for asthma. The 3-year deal supports LJ2 participation in a $6.9 million asthma study funded by the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. Up to 5,000 study participants will be involved in contributing to the real-time collection of longitudinal health records data, augmenting a quest to identify personalized asthma treatments and ultimately finding an asthma cure. Do you have any clinical news you'd like us to report on? If so, let us know. If you'd like to watch more videos, click the playlists here. Thank you for joining us for this week's Trial Site News Roundup. And remember, subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of updates. We'll see you next time.